So are y'all ready? Y'all just want to get started? Well, let me
Yeah.
go first. Bailey, since you're like this is kind of your first call. Jay, do you want me to cover anything specifically, or do you want to cover anything for Bailey? Like what all of y'all talked about?
I mean, pretty much just all the basics. I know that, I mean, she's told me that one of her biggest struggles is posting.
Mhm.
She gets, nervous and second guesses herself when it comes to posting. So if you have any tips, or Timmy, if you have any tips to offer her about stepping out in her comfort zone in that way, then I'm sure she would greatly appreciate it. Because I know, Rachel, you struggled with that too when you first started out.
I was about to. My first words were going to be, "My posts sucked" as a new coach. Like they were awful. Like when I look back now, you know how they pop up in your memories. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
Like I want to be like delete, delete, delete. I don't want to see that. But yeah, like it's just like anything else. You just have to practice, Bailey. Honestly. And I tell all my new coaches, like I had no idea what to say as a new coach. Like I am not like this, like by nature. Although people like don't believe this, but like I'm not just a supernatural, like motivational, inspirational person. It's definitely something that God has developed in me over the past 3 years. He's kind of taught me some things, but like I would take a quote from Autumn, like in the workout we did or something she said, and that would be like my motivation for the day. And I would just try to like expound on that. Or I would put her words over my photo or something. I don't do that as much anymore. But I took a lot of things that I said. I don't know if you've gotten the book yet, the Compound Effect book yet. But I would take a lot of the things, the concepts in here, that everything in life, like this, like I have underlined, this is like my beat up copy of it. Like everything in your life exists because you first made a choice about something. Like that's something that I would take, and I would just say, okay, I made a choice to make my health better, to improve my health, I made a choice to get up this morning and work out. I made a choice to pack my lunch for work today instead of going through the drive-thru, and it would be something like that. And so like this book helped me a whole lot, and just kind of coming up with something to say. And honestly, like as I got farther and farther along, it just started to come naturally. And then you start to have challengers, and you start to see other people have success, or somebody messages you. I don't know. You just get this inspiration to go, and it's just like you just got to do it. And the more you do it, hate to use the word easy, the easier it becomes, but like the more natural it becomes, if that makes any sense. So if new coaches can just get over that fear and that first hurdle, for a few months, then you'll start to have people message you and say, oh my gosh, your post inspired me. And you're like, what, me? And then, it's really exciting, and God will definitely use you. You just gotta go. Kimmy, you got anything to add to that?
I was just going to say really a lot, like you were talking about with the personal development book. So whatever motivated you that morning, that's what I do. Like I'll do, from my personal development book, whatever I'm reading, that is always like one of my posts, or one of my devotions, or that hit me hard. That's always one of my posts. And then like the motivation for your workout, what got you to it today? That's like the main thing about what we try to express, is more expanding on it, other than just saying I did it, but what got you to work out, the accountability of the challenge groups, the fact that you do it because you feel a little bit better. Just kind of expand on those whys, expand a little bit more on the why did you choose this as your lunch. People love to see what you're eating, because then they can understand it a little bit more, and understand like your meal plans, and adding value about how do you figure out how much water to drink, and how do you figure out different things. How do you meal plan? How do you make it work when you're often doing something else and still trying to stick to it. Mm-hmm. So really just how you get to it. And it seems weird, but the best way that people have told me is almost pretend like it's your diary and you're sharing it. Like it's your personal, obviously you're sharing it to the world, and expect people that they want to know more and go into it with those words. Because it seems weird, but the more you're more personal as writing almost like a Dear Diary, the more personal it will be, and the more people will connect with you. And it just almost seems more natural. But don't worry, we've all been like, hi, I worked out, we've all gone through those and stuff like that, and you don't know what to say. It's just finding, my thing is just what motivated you to do these different things, and then share that. So you're adding value and showing that you're doing it.
And people love to hear how you overcome obstacles. They love to know that you struggle, and they love to know like how and why you overcome obstacles, because that is what inspires people. You know, they want to have hope, and we give them hope, not because we're perfect, but because we're extremely imperfect, but we get up and we do it and we try again, even when we fall. So like, I find that the posts that get the most traction and get like the even like challenge group posts that get the most response are the ones where I'm like, look, like, I just ate a bag of Oreos, and I'm not going to let that stop me. You know, it's just like I totally fell off the plan, but look, this is my plan of action to keep going. And I'm motivated to do that because, you know, so like how you overcome obstacles and things like that, people love that. And so does that help a little bit, Bailey?
Yes, I'm typing. Sorry.
Okay, good. Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
There is a national wake-up call a few weeks ago by Joan somebody. I can't remember what her name is. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna tell you what her name is, and you can share it with your team. But it's really good. I shared it with our Team Cup team today. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna tell you what her name is, and it was just a few weeks ago. Joan Crocker. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, like talking about how to share your story and your transformation, and just, you know, it was a really good call. Like, I need to go back and like, she encourages you to like make a list of like maybe who you were before you became a coach, before you became a challenger, you know, obstacles that you faced or struggles that you faced, and like talk to the person that you were before you got started. That's a big tip, you know, like talk to Bailey before you said, hey, Jade, help me, you know, or, you know, I talked to Rachel before, like I just like got fed up and just decided to do something. Like, what was I feeling? What was I thinking? And I try to talk to that person. So that call really was a good refresher for me.
Well, and like Jade, I felt like it was so creepy whenever I first, you know, messaged her, because I found her through Hannah, she was in my wedding, one of my really good friends, and that's her sister-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just kind of saw literally it was like the user ID, and I clicked on her page, and you know how we get to stalking people. It just happens. Okay. And so I just got to looking, and then I was like, you know, Jay is just so inspiring and all these workout stuff. And I was just, you know, I was interested. So that's the biggest thing with social media to me. It's like, you really don't ever know who's looking at your page. Like, that sounds really creepy, but you really don't ever know like who you're inspiring. It doesn't even have to be people that you truly know. It could just be somebody totes random, you know, that's looking at your page. And that's where I kind of got drug in. But I feel like it's hardest to speak to people that I know. And I talked to Jade about that. And that's what's hardest is, you know, just talking to people that you know. It's just awkward, and it's just overcoming the awkwardness. Like, I posted a picture last night, you know, of me and my husband and working out.
And it was so cute.
And everybody at work was like, how do you look so good after working out? It's like, y'all are crazy. But
You look really pretty, I have to tell you.
But thank you. But, you know, it's just, so I'm trying little by little to overcome. And plus, it's, you know, like you said, when you share a struggle, you don't realize how many other people are in the same boat as you until you put it out there. And then it's like this wave of encouragement almost that you get, that I've gotten. Like, yes, there are some people that have acted like they wanted to, you know, to be in the challenge group, and I talk about it with them. And then literally every person has just like fallen off the face of the earth pretty much. But for the most part, I just love the encouragement that I've gotten so far, even though nobody's really joined yet, you know, with me. It's just the encouragement has just been enough for me to give me a little bit more motivation, I guess, you know.
Yes. And I was talking to Hannah, Christy's Hannah. Hey, Christy, you look tired. I know you've had a long day. I was talking to her, you know, she said, I was talking about her posts, and she's a really good example of somebody who's come in and just like, she is consistently posted, and that's working for her. You know, she's got all these conversations going, but you know, she's like, she too this month is like, you know, I haven't had anybody to commit. And but she said, you know, I've got all these people who are messaging me and saying, you know, your posts, I just really enjoy your posts, or it inspired me. And, you know, I told her, like, in the beginning, like, when I sat right where you guys are, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't hit Success Club. Everybody's saying no, you know, like, I would get this message from somebody who I had no idea was following me, who, you know, never liked my post, never commented, but I would get this message out of the blue and they'd be like, hey, I want you to know that I look forward to your posts every single morning. And this is when my posts were bad. I just have to say, you know, I look forward to your posts every single morning. And, you know, I actually like got up out of bed this morning and went and walked, even if it was like just a mile or just like a half a mile. Somebody would say, like, you know, I knew I was going to see your workout post. And I knew that if I was going to see your workout post, then I could get up and work out too. And I was like, thank you, Jesus, because I was about to quit again, you know? And honestly, like I feel like that was God just telling me, you know, stick with it, stick with it, stick with it. And, you know, we're going to talk about some of those things, about conversations and follow-ups and, you know, like how to encourage people to commit. But I swear, I mean, like I say this all the time, like your posts and your consistency in your posts is what builds your credibility and builds your momentum. And yes, we have to do those private conversations. Yes, we have to like learn how to navigate those and talk to people. But if you're not posting, like people don't care what you say. It's just that whole, you know, do what you say, not, or do what I say, not, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. You have to be doing what you're asking people to do. And then if they see you doing it, then they trust you more. And so like that's why I'm encouraging you, like, you know, just to push through that fear and just, I mean, like, I just kind of can tell by your personality. Like once you get going with your posts, you know, I think you'll enjoy it and you'll find your voice and people will enjoy your posts as well because you just seem to have that personality. But yeah. Anybody, is that good? Does that help? Okay, so Tammy and I wanted to talk about really the inviting process, because I think that more than anything, that is what, as a new coach, like you said, I hated to talk to people that I knew because I didn't want them to judge me, or, you know, like I didn't want people to think I was telling them that they were fat and they needed to join the challenge group, or, you know, like, and I am a self-conscious person. Like I care what people think about me way too much. And especially, you know, the closer I am to somebody, the more I care, right? And so like I wasn't the one running out and asking my aunt or my sister or my, you know, my uncle or my dad or anybody to join me, because I didn't want to talk to them about it. Like I wanted to talk to strangers about it because that was just easier. But in the beginning, all you have really is this warm market. Like you have a warm market of people who know you and know what you're about. And sometimes your warm market people can be the most critical and judgmental, but, you know, they will, honestly, people were just waiting for me to stop. I think that's probably true for all of us. Like, oh, Rachel is on this kick. What is she? She never posts on social media. She's up here, like, posting her sweaty selfie and stuff. Who does she think she is? In my mind, that's what people were saying. And I don't even know if that was true. But it didn't really matter, because once I did start to post, once I started to share, and I realized I was really inspiring people, like that fueled my fire to really invite people more. And so I did, like in the beginning, most of my challengers came from my posts. Like people would message me, and the people that I reached out to the most were the people that were liking my posts, that were commenting on my posts, and I would just message them, and that's how I started conversations. And I talked to Hannah today too. Like I'll go into eventually this whole invite funnel and how you should be adding friends. Everybody should be adding friends every day, connecting with people, liking and commenting on people's posts, sending hey girl messages. But like I'm not going to teach you to add somebody as a friend and then boom, hit them with an invite. Like I just don't think that that's how we work. And so like as new coaches, you are going to start with your warm market. You're going to start with the people who are following you. If you are posting regularly, you're going to notice that like 5 or 10 people are going to be consistently liking your posts, and that's where you start. And so like what I do personally is I'll just send a message and I'm like, hey girl, thank you so much for the love on my posts. Like it is so encouraging that, you know, you're following me and supporting me, and I hope that I inspire you in some way. And so, you know, that's a way to get the conversation started. And most likely, if people are following you and liking your posts, there's something there that they like. There's probably a need or something, or that you are meeting, or you're inspiring them, giving them hope that they can do the same thing. And so it's all interconnected. And so, you know, that's how you're going to really start in the beginning. And you may even have to start with your sister or your aunt or your grandma. I don't know. But, you know, like I remember one of my first few months, like I signed my husband up as a challenger. And I did it because I needed the points, and I was too scared to ask somebody else, right? And so that is where I started. But you do have to start with the invitation process. And I'm actually using this resource from the coach training in the Coach Online office, and it's really good. Like, they've updated it. It is so good. And they talk about, of course, expanding your network. And that is just simply, like, you need to be adding. Like, my coach told me to add 3 new friends every day, and I did that. I've done that every day I've been a coach. Like, I've done that more than that, really. Some days I'll add 10, 15, 20, but you got to be expanding your network so that people can see your posts when you start to post. And then the next thing that you really do, this should help you a little bit too, Bailey, is like, come up with 5 things. Like, what are 5 things that make you Bailey? Christy, what are 5 things that make you Christy? Like, maybe you and your husband like to go bowling, or you like to scrapbook, or these are kooky. I'm just trying to come up with things. Or maybe like somebody's a cancer survivor, or maybe you have grandchildren, or maybe you like to go rollerblading or something, or you like clean eating and fitness. Obviously, faith is one for me. I'm a mom of boys. Timmy's a mom of boys. They're like a big football family. We play baseball, we swim. Like that, those are just things that kind of define me. And those are things that I'm going to post about, because I want to attract people like me. And so, like, sit down and make a list of 5 things that kind of, people can relate to you, that make you you. And that's what you're going to post about. And you're going to start to add value on your social media page. You're going to start to create kind of this experience on your social media page that make people want to come back. So yes, you want to post your workout selfie. You want to post recipes. Maybe you share a clean eating tip, or get your water in tip, or show something funny, or a kitchen gadget tool that you use while you're doing meal prep, or something like that. Maybe you work out with your family and you talk about that. But you want to kind of create this experience on your social media page that adds value. That makes people want to come back to your page. And as you do that, your following will grow. And as your following grows, you'll start to get more likes. You'll start to get more comments. And those are people that you can reach out to and say, hey, thank you. And hey, do you have any health and fitness goals yourself? Okay. So we want to teach you to do this in like such a non-creepy way, right? In such a like spammy way. We don't sell in our posts. We don't, like send people links right away. We don't say, hey, this is, what do the Brown Fields people say? This is random, but do you want to join my team? I'm like, what? Who are you? Like I don't want it. We don't want to have a culture like that. We want to inspire people. We want to add value, no matter if they become a challenger or not. And then whenever we say, hey, do you have any health and fitness goals? They're like, this chick is pretty consistent. Maybe I could share with her. Maybe she could help me, right? Okay, so that's kind of the experience that we want to create. Does anybody have any questions about that, like about posting and kind of your 5 things or anything like that? Okay. Timmy, you jump in when you want to, or Jay too, both of y'all. So I think that if I could give you like my number 1 tip as a new coach when it comes to inviting, because it is scary. It is, you don't want to be salesy. You don't want to turn people away. You don't want to offend anyone. But guys, this is a relationship building business. Like, I look at every message that I send, every invite, every connection as like, I'm making a new friend. Like, no matter if this person decides to join me or not, like, I'm going to make a new friend. I'm going to add value to this person's life in some way. And so by me starting this conversation or saying, thank you for following me, or whatever it is, like, if my heart is focused on, the person and not just the outcome, then I have so much more success with my conversations. And so, like, whenever I start a conversation with someone, it's not, I can't even think of the last time that I said, hey, do you want to join my challenge group? I mean, like, I don't do that. Like, I build a relationship first. I may ask them if they have any health and fitness goals, but like, I don't just jump into the challenge group. I'll start a conversation by saying, thank you for following me, or hey girl, I love that dress that you had on in your pictures last night, or your family photos were so cute. Who was your photographer? How did you plan your outfits? Like, I am constantly like starting friendships, and that's how I view it in my mind. It's like I'm just creating thousands and thousands of friends, right? And so like that, I think that people sense that and they kind of trust that. And, you know, yes, I will eventually get to, hey, you know, like I have really enjoyed talking to you. And when I was working on my challenge group for this month, your name just came to mind. And I just wanted to see, would you be interested in joining my next faith and fitness accountability group? Do you have any health and fitness goals? Like, that's not creepy. That's just like, I've invested in this person. I have, you know, we've talked about something other than Beachbody, other than fitness. And so that when it is time, like they kind of trust me a little bit more. And I'm not fake. Like I'm not fake at all. I'm not going to have this fake conversation with somebody because that's just not me. So like if I go to somebody's page and they're all like gothic and like post swear words and like all these weird videos, like I'm not gonna start a conversation. Like I'm going to connect with people that I can really connect to. And so like I add value. I target kind of the people who are really following. And then I'm just constantly starting conversations with new friends. And that is how I build relationships. But like I said in the beginning, you don't have time to do all that, right? Like I do this over months and months at a time. Like, so people, I add friends this month, I'm going to connect with them and then maybe invite them next month. You don't have that time. So you have to start with your warm market. And that's why I suggest definitely starting with those people who are following you, who are liking your posts, and who you just kind of feel like you can just make that initial connection with. And just say, hey, look, I don't know if you've noticed, but I am, you know, I started my own health and fitness boot camp, and it starts next week, and I would love for you to be a part of it. Can I, you know, tell you a little bit more about it? So maybe you sit down, get that memory jogger out, and you just make a list of people that you can start sharing about your challenge group with. Okay. And so when you invite them, you just, you know, just be you. Like, don't be fake. Don't be scared. I mean, it is a little bit scary. I won't say that, but you know, just be you. Like these people that you already have relationships with, just talk to them like you would talk to them anyways. You know, like so with Timmy, if we've been lifelong friends, I'd be like, hey girl, look, I am running these faith and fitness boot camps and they're really fun, and we work out and we meal plan and we clean eat, and I just think you would love it and you would get a lot out of it. Can I tell you some more about it? You know, so kind of approach people that way. And then when they say yeah, sure, because most people are going to say, yeah, tell me more. Then you start to ask questions. You know, I word vomited on people all the time as a new coach. But like you really just start with forming that relationship, you know, like, you know, asking them questions, help them connect to their why. You know, like if you say, do you have any health and fitness goals? Then they say, yes. You know, I really would like to lose like 10 pounds, or I'd like to have more energy. I mean, if you ask somebody if they have any health and fitness goals, they're going to have an answer, because we all have health and fitness goals, right? Some people's are obstacles are bigger than others, but everybody wants to get leaner, get toner, wants to lose weight, wants to sleep better, wants to, you know, get off their cholesterol meds, whatever it is. And so by asking that question, you kind of help them connect to that goal. So like if I asked Timmy, you know, do you have any health and fitness goals? She's like, yes. I have a class reunion coming up in 2 months, and I really like to get in this dress, and I just feel frustrated with myself. And so like I'm going to connect with people, and I'm going to relate to their goals or their obstacles or their frustrations, and say, oh my gosh, like I totally understand. That would be awesome. I would want to be able to fit into that dress too. So like if you can hit that goal, like how's that going to make you feel, you know, and then help them figure out, you know, if you do hit this goal, if you make it like a reality, then how would you feel? And you're just helping them connect. You're helping them connect to their why, to their goals, and really making it more of a possibility for them in their own minds by just asking questions, right? Timmy, is there any way that you do that differently? Or Jay, y'all both been doing this for a while. Okay. And so that really, I mean, this works for me. Like I've been doing it this way for a couple of years now, and just like asking those questions and helping them figure out, you know, what they want to do, where they're going, you know, like today I had a conversation, just as an example. It's this girl who's been following me for probably the whole time I've been a coach, 3 years. I probably invited her 2 years ago, and she said no. And then last night she was like, okay, all right, I know you've asked me before and I wasn't ready, but tell me about the Beachbody thing. And she was just like, I mean, like I didn't even, I said like, you know, okay, yeah, I'd love to. What are your goals? And she just spilled. Like, it was just like she spilled. You know, it was just like she could not wait to get it out. Like, I had my baby 2 years ago. I weigh more now than I did when I was pregnant with her. You know, like, I'm a horrible example for her. Like, I'm telling you, if you ask people what are your health and fitness goals, they are going to give you an answer. All right. And so, like, when she told me all that, obviously that was hard. You know, like, that was a really deep emotional why. And she had already formed it for herself. But I said, oh my gosh, I respect you, first of all, so much for wanting to make a change for your family, for wanting to be an example to your daughter. That's awesome. I can totally understand how you feel. I remember feeling just so frustrated with myself. So I'm relating to her. You know, obviously if you don't have kids or something, you have to find some other way to relate. But like, I related to her problem. And I said, so tell me, you know, like, if you could hit, you know, like in 1 month, 6 months, like, what goals would you set for yourself and your health? And she knew. She was like, in 1 month, I want to be able to say I'm doing this, and in 6 months, I want to be here, you know? And so, like, she's already planning in her mind without me even like telling her about the challenge group or the challenge pack or anything. She's already setting goals for herself. And so, like, I'm setting her up for whenever I tell her about the challenge group and the challenge pack for her to be ready to go, okay? Because she's already forming this deep emotional connection with what she wants to do and what she knows she needs to do, okay? So I'm kind of just laying out the roadmap for her, you know, saying this is what it's going to look like, right? Okay. And so that's the relationship, the goal setting, the vision setting part of the relationship. And then after that, I'm like, okay, well, let me tell you this. This is how my challenge group works. And I do believe that personally, for me, in these conversations, I believe that we have a solution for people. I believe that Shakeology works. I believe that these programs and clean eating works. And so, like, I have no issue saying, okay, this is what we do. This is what you're going to do. You know, if you join my challenge group, we are going to work out. I'm going to help you meal plan. We're going to replace 1 meal a day with Shakeology. We're going to share devotionals and motivation. We're going to talk about like how to, you know, eat out at restaurants, how to handle emotional eating, and yada, yada, yada. And we have this whole like challenge group description. I'm sure Jade has one she shared with you. But then I just lay out the plan. Like, this is what we're going to do in my challenge groups. And at that point, most people are like, okay, sign me up. Like, what do I do? That sounds awesome. And then I'm going to explain the challenge group or the challenge pack. And again, I have this little script that I use. So, do you have good Wi-Fi? All you need is Wi-Fi. And, you know, with the challenge pack, you're going to get a year membership to Beachbody On Demand. I will help you. Don't worry. We'll find a program that works for you. And as you progress, we'll just keep going and finding new programs, and you'll get stronger, and you'll get these portion containers that I'm going to help you meal plan with, and a 30-day supply of Shakeology, which is a meal replacement. It's $160. Watch this video and tell me, you know, and then we'll get started. I don't say tell me what you think, because that's not a good way to say it. But so at that point, I've laid everything out. Like, I have told them everything. And this doesn't happen typically in a day. This usually happens over a few days at least. And a lot of times I have to follow up. People go silent on me. And I'm like, hey, girl, let's do this. You ready? I know you're excited. Do you have any questions for me? So don't think that, like, if you're talking to all these people and then they just go silent, that you failed. It typically just means that they're busy. Or maybe they're thinking about it, or maybe their kid got sick. Like, I had this woman I messaged today that wanted to be in my free group a couple weeks ago, and I messaged her and she never responded back. And I was going through my list, my tracking list, and I messaged her, and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I was sick and I never responded to you. So, like, you can't just assume that people go silent, that they don't want to do this. Like, they're just doing life just like you and me. And so we have to follow up. Like, you have to follow up with those people. So, you know, I invite, ask the questions, they form their why, I explain the challenge group, I explain the challenge pack, and then when they say, you know, after they know it's $160, they watch the video, people will have objections. People will say, oh, that's a lot of money, I wasn't expecting that, or I just don't know if I can commit to this. You know, like, we've got baseball, we've got football, going back to work, like, you're going to get objections. And so the biggest thing, my biggest tip with objections is to use that feel, felt, found method. You know, somebody tells me, I can't afford that, that's too much. I say, I totally understand how you feel. I felt the same way. I didn't buy Shakeology for like 3 months, but what I found was, so that's the feel, felt, found method. I found that, like, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, first of all. Secondly, I tried it. I didn't like it at first, but then I mixed it a couple of times more. And then the longer I drank it, the more I could tell a difference. Like I had more energy. It was a fast and easy meal. Like I stopped going through the drive-through and just had my Shakeology. So I actually saved money. You know, my sugar cravings got better. And so that's the feel, felt, found method. And a lot of times people will be like, oh, okay, well, I understand. That makes sense. Sometimes they still say no, but that's okay. All right. So when people say no, that doesn't mean no forever. That just means no, not right now. And you ask if you can follow up at another time. And, you know, invite them to another challenge group. And so that is exactly how I go through a conversation. It works for me. I would say that probably, oh gosh, I can't give you like ratios, but a lot of people, you know, that I talk to that I get that far into the conversation with either sign up or they sign up later because I keep posting, because I keep sharing about challenge groups, because I keep sharing about transformation. I keep talking about other transformations. And so it's that it all comes back. It's just this perfect circle. Like you post, you invite, you have conversations, you follow up, people sign up, they become coaches. It's just like this life cycle that just keeps happening. Okay. And so you just kind of have to trust the process, but you are going to have objections. You are going to have people that say no. You are going to have people that never, ever, ever, ever respond to your message. And that's okay. Like that's just part of it. You have to expect it. So that's how I go through a conversation. Do you guys have any questions about any of that, or like have a conversation that you maybe like want to follow up with tonight, or maybe you have somebody that you know you want to invite but you don't know how? Like we can do that right now. Anybody? Are you like for me, I'll tell you personally, like right now, this month, I have gotten I can't remember the last time I got so many cost objections. But, you know, when I think about it, like people like me, like they went back to school. They had to buy their kids new clothes. We signed the boys up for jujitsu and baseball. And, you know, like there's back to school pictures and there's like all this stuff. And like it does cost a lot of money. So what am I going to do? Like I'm going to make a post about it. You know, like I'm going to make a post about the fact that we had to shell out $80, like 160, like I'm trying to add up, you know, like $200 just for stuff for our boys, you know, and how in the past, like that would have been something that stopped me from making my health a priority. Like I need to write this down. I come up with these things and I don't ever post about them. But like that's kind of like that's objections that I get from my market, from like my niche market. And so like in order to ward that off or to address it, if I get it a lot, I'm going to make a post about it. If you're getting a lot of objections about Shakeology costing too much, then make a post about it. You know, talk about the fact that it's $4 a day. Talk about the fact that it's a meal replacement. I talk about the fact that I didn't even want to buy it at first. Like I make that into a public post but explain why I did and why I continue to drink it. So, you know, if you're getting a time objection post, you know, I get up at 4:15 in the morning. Don't tell me you don't have time. You know, like I wouldn't say that. Like I wouldn't say that. That's people would not want to join me. But like I can explain, you know, why do I get up at 4:15 in the morning? Like why don't I just lay in bed 30 minutes longer? But I don't, because like I have to do it. If I don't work out in the morning, then it's not going to happen. If it doesn't happen, I feel horrible, and I don't want to feel horrible. I remember what that felt like. I liked the way I feel when I work out and I make my health a priority. Okay. And so many women can relate to that feeling. That's what I'm talking about, talking to the person who I was 3 years ago. There's so many women out there who are just laying in bed, hitting the snooze button, you know, like getting up and eating a toaster strudel. Where's he at? And they just feel really bad. Like they're tired and they're lethargic and they can't stay awake. And, you know, they don't have the energy to play with their kids. And like, so that's who I talk to. That's who I talk to in my posts. And I explain, you know, I handle those objections in my posts that I'm getting from people. Does that make sense? I get really excited about this and I just say it all. But it is, it's like, it's just this perfect circle. Like once you just like get it all, like once you get in the groove and make it a habit of posting and inviting and doing your power hour and having those conversations with people and doing your personal development, like it all just kind of flows together. It's not always easy or perfect, but you do just kind of get in this groove of doing it, and then it just kind of, it does become more natural and easier. Christy, you've been doing this for a little while, and you're pretty good. I mean, you're a new coach, but you really have, I feel like you're good with talking to people about Shakeology and stuff like that. Do you have any tips for her about that? Like talking to people that she knows, because she said that kind of intimidated her.
Well, I will say I have had more people come up to me and talk about it because of my post. I am getting that the more consistent I am, the more people want to talk about it. Yeah. Even the Shakeology. And we have a huge, I don't know if it is where you are, but this huge Juice Plus community here. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of that. And I bought Juice Plus in the past, but I just keep saying, well, Shakeology makes me feel so much better. So that's all I know to say. I know it's cheaper, but still. I didn't like it.
It's cheaper?
It is cheaper. Mm-hmm.
But it's not a meal, is it?
I don't know. I've tried to compare the two because like my last challenger, she ended up joining but keeping her Juice Plus.
Yeah, I have some people that do that.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think that what you're passionate about, other people get passionate about.
Hey, I have a question.
Go.
Okay, so I created an event for my 21st, the challenge group. Okay, so I have a lady that's from Memphis that has accepted, is in the event, watching everything. So do I just message her?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
What I would do is I would just say, hey, I'm so excited that you, wanted to learn more about this challenge group. And, that would just start like I normally do. Like, so tell me about yourself. What are some goals that you have for your health? That just start the conversation. Okay. Yeah, I do the same thing. Like if somebody fills out my Woohoo form, I just start the conversation like I would as if I was inviting them, and just start asking questions. Yeah.
Well, I'll be honest, because I wanted to read this to y'all, what kind of put a roadblock on me. So, super long story, like super, super short. This one girl, we all have that one girl we grew up with, we've known for a long time, almost like an arch nemesis, like type person, okay? And so I've been posting this stuff, and I try to keep it by myself, I am doing this for the glory of God. I'm doing this for the glory of God. Like, I truly want to become better physically, spiritually, mentally, etc. And, not to care what other people think. Well, the girl that I'm talking about posted this, and it said, it's like a little meme. Y'all might have seen it. I don't know. But it's like a little meme. And it just says, Facebook friend I haven't spoken to in 4 years. Hey, girl, how are you? Me. This feels like a trap. Her. LOL. Have you heard about Beachbody? I was like, what a turd head. Yeah. So, it just kind of put third head. Yeah. It put a big old damper on some things. Because I'm like, do I just need to unfriend this chick? Because you're really just raining down on Bailey's parade. Like, I'm really trying to get better at this. And then I saw that, and I was just like, and it was clearly geared towards me, I guess, trying to better myself, if you will. Yeah. And I don't know, it just hurt my feelings. It was just all kind of emotions, and that's whenever I kind of took like a step back from the post, because it's like nobody wants to be that girl. Mm-hmm. That's the hardest part about getting started, is like you don't want to be that girl that's posting workout selfies that everybody's like, oh, Bailey, we know you worked out, you don't have to post it. Just like you were saying earlier, so that's how I feel like people feel, but they may not, but it's just a subconscious thing, I guess, that I got to get over.
One thing, you can't take one person's opinion and make it everybody else's opinion. You're gonna have haters. That's just the way it is. If you're not, even if you were perfect, Jesus was perfect. He had haters. People were hating on him, and so you're gonna have people who have those negative vibes. And it's not a judgment of your character; it's a judgment of theirs, and it's something that they're struggling with. And so it's just making them feel better about themselves by calling you out on something that you're trying to do for yourself. So don't take it as an insult. Take it as just, a grain of salt, and go on, keep doing what God's placed on your heart to do. And she will come around. If you keep being consistent, you keep leading with love, she's gonna come around. She's gonna see that that you were genuine. And I hope that helps. Like, because I felt the same way. People call me out. My family especially is like the ones who do that to me. And they've come around. A year later, I've been doing this a year. A year later, they're open about talking to me about it, and are even interested. And so don't get, you know, your hopes up, or don't get down by one person who has an opinion that smells like a butthole. Sorry.
Okay. Timmy, were you gonna say something? Okay. I agree with Jade. Like, that's her issue. It's not you. It has nothing to do with you, I don't think. You know, luckily, I mean, I could have people hating on me all over the place, but I don't know. I don't know about it. I have had a couple people that have been like really ugly about me. But honestly, it was not anybody that I respected their opinion, you know, to care enough. But I can't, like, I mean, like on my like page, it ticks, like when I get, it shows me every day, like when my numbers go up or something. And if I see that I lose followers, I'm like, you know, like that, like I can easily let that be like, oh my gosh, what did I say? What did I do? Did I offend somebody, or, you know, whatever. But like, I don't know if Jade said this, but maybe she implied it, but you just have to like check your motivation. Like, if you know what your motivation is, if you know that you genuinely invited someone because you wanted to help them and you believe in this, like, but they took it the wrong way. You know, yes, maybe if you need to, you know, I don't know. Like, I don't worry too much about people that react negatively to me, because of course, yeah, there have been times in my business where I desperately was like looking for people and, you know, maybe trying to hit Success Club. And I maybe just invited a whole bunch of people and didn't really build that relationship. And that's on me. But, you know, like you know your heart, you know your motivation, you know what your purpose is. And, you know, you are going to have those people that just kind of try to dampen your parade because they're unhappy with themselves. So, yeah. This just comes with it, I guess, a little bit. Let's see. The other thing, follow-ups, you gotta follow up with people. Like, I will tell you, like, I would not probably have any Success Club points if I didn't follow up with people. So don't be afraid to follow up. My rule for following up is that, you know, if I invite them or I start a conversation and they never respond, I wait a couple of days and I message them again. Because I tell you, like, people get busy and they may see your post and they may forget to answer it and just forget about it. Because, you know, not everybody's sitting around thinking about like challenge groups like we are. But, you know, like, but if you follow up with them, a lot of people will respond. If you go through a whole conversation with people and you get to the end and you tell them the challenge pack price or whatever, and you don't hear from them, you automatically think, oh, they think that's crazy expensive. Like, they probably are not do this, they don't want to do this. But in reality, like, their kid probably just threw up all over them or something and they just didn't get to message you back. You know, I mean, like, that's how my life would go. And so, like, I have to think about, like, what happens in my life. Like, I can't tell you how many messages I look at that I don't respond to right away and I forget them. So, like, I definitely follow up. And when I follow up with people that I have been in conversation with, I talk to them like I assume that they are going to do it. Like, they're sitting there waiting for the information to sign up. And so, like, a follow-up would be like, all right, you know, like, let's get you started. Our challenge group starts Monday. I'm so excited and ready for you to begin this journey with me. I just need to get, you know, if you've explained the challenge pack or if I've explained the challenge pack, we just need to get your stuff ordered and we're ready to go. You know, if I follow up with somebody too, like, I kind of feel like they're maybe on the fence, I might say something like, all right, our challenge group starts Monday. I'm totally holding your spot, but I need to know for sure if you were in it. If so, let's go ahead, let's do this, let's get started, and we are going to rock this together. You know, sound like really positive, really assertive, and I just assume that they are going to sign up. And, you know, some people do say no. Obviously, a lot of people say no, but then a lot of people do say yes. And just, you know, they can sense your energy and your excitement. And I do have to do a lot of explaining about the cost, you know, especially about Shakeology, that it is a meal replacement, that we budget for it, you know, that I'm not adding supplements to my diet. I'm replacing a meal that I'm already eating. You know, those are some ways that I explain Shakeology if I get the cost objection, and people get it. Some people may not always be able to sign up right then, but usually they come around and do it later. So, Following up is huge. Definitely follow up. Tracking, you have to track who you're talking to. Like I said, like I went through my tracker today and I just messaged everybody that I've talked to or that was in my free group or something. And there were a lot of people that I had forgotten about. Like that, I'm in one conversation with a lady right now that I'd totally forgotten that I had talked to her. If I hadn't written her name down somewhere, like I would have totally never commented or responded or reached out to her again. And so you've got to track, keep up with the friends that you add. Like if somebody accepts my friend request, I write their name down. If I send a hey girl message to somebody, I write their name down. If I send an invite or a follow up, then I write their name down. And so I'm constantly tracking my business so that I can go back and talk to those people. And we have tons of good trackers. Jade has trackers, Christy, you have those trackers that I've shared, but write people's names down. And the other thing was definitely time management. It's a lot of information. It's very overwhelming in the beginning, and you've got to really manage your time. Like if you have your power hour sheet, like sit down and write down, I'm going to add friends for 5 minutes, and boom, do it. I'm going to invite people. That might take a little bit longer, for 20 minutes. Do that. I'm going to do my personal development for 10 minutes. I'm going to follow up with people I've talked to this week for 15 minutes. I'm going to spend 10 minutes sending hey girl messages. Like you've got to manage your time or it will just you'll find yourself sitting in bed scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and looking at everybody's photos and not doing anything. And that will frustrate you so much that you quit. But like I was telling Timmy, like before we got on this call, I was like, new coaches can do this in an hour, right? I think I did, I don't want to lead anybody astray, but you definitely have to really sit down with that power hour sheet, your task list, and just work your way through it. And of course that doesn't include my workout or making my posts or anything, but when I sit down to do my power hour, which is add friends, invite people, connect with people, follow up, and do my personal development, like that is my power hour. And I can still do that in an hour. Obviously, like I do a lot more than that now, but the basics, and that is the heart of my business. Like yes, I have a team, and yes, I do this leadership stuff, but I cannot neglect my own power hour and my own personal business, because that's what keeps me moving forward. And so time management is a big thing. Do I get up earlier than I used to and stay up a little bit later than I used to? Yes. Do I watch my TV shows anymore? Not really, but I don't miss them. I'd much rather talk to y'all and help y'all build a business, And so like that, I did have to give up some things in order to make this work. But, time management, I still struggle with time management. I have to like rein myself in. But if you can just kind of take that by the reins right now and just seriously, like if you just for 30 days, the next 30 days, make your power hour happen every single day, you will see your business grow. It will grow. And so that's kind of all that I have. Timmy, did I miss anything that we talked about? Jade, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about tonight? Or Christy, do you have any questions or anything? Emerald. Oh, we were going to talk about Emerald.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we want to talk about Emerald?
Yeah. So Emerald, I know that, excuse me, Christy, you're in that Emerald Factory group, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah.
But Emerald is easy. I don't want to Emerald is easy, honestly. It's a coach, and it's just 2 coaches under you. They don't have to be working coaches. You don't have to think, oh, I'm going to recruit working coaches to be Emerald. But like, I think I went Emerald with my husband, and I can't remember who the other person was. I'm pretty sure it was a family member. But I just signed them up as coaches. Like if you have 2 people, like 2 friends that you think would do this and love Shakeology, just ask them to sign up as a coach. And just say you get a 25% discount, the next time your Shakeology ships out. If you love it, you're going to save like $20-25 automatically. You're not locked into anything. You don't have to stay a coach if you decide not to. But Emerald is important because Emerald, 1, it just means that you're growing your business, right? And then 2, it's an income thing. All right. So if you're Emerald, you start with cycle bonuses. Every time you cycle $100 on your week leg, you get a $14 bonus, which does not sound like a lot, but it's the beginning of growing your income. You also, as an Emerald, if you're hitting Success Club, you get leads from Beachbody, which is just free money, basically, like people who go to Beachbody and they order like Shakeology or a challenge pack and they don't have a coach, they give them to you and you get commission and points and volume from their sales. So Emerald is really important. Like if you're in this to even if you're not like in it to like go super fast, like everybody should shoot for Emerald as soon as possible. And especially like if you have those people that you're close to that you can just say, hey, look, I'm going to enroll you. I'm going to sign you up with a challenge pack as a coach. It's just basically like a preferred customer. You get a 25% savings. You do pay a monthly fee, but you know, even with that, you're going to save $25 a month on your Shakeology the next time it ships out. And don't feel like you're not locked into anything. You can cancel it if you need to. I think that you're going to love it, and this is just going to save the hassle of switching over later. That's how I would explain it. Jade, have you done that, like with people? Yeah.
Yeah, I've said the exact same thing about saving and
Yeah. And so like I would definitely, you know, like I know that a lot of you guys have that goal, but like you could do it like, I mean, what's tomorrow, Wednesday? Like if you could do it tomorrow night, like you would start getting your cycle bonus, you know, next week. So anyways, that's definitely something to keep in the forefront of your mind as you're signing people up. Chrissy, you've already got one coach.
So if I already have one that has bought a challenge pack, can she become a coach still?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. Definitely. They can switch over with a $40 fee, or they can switch over with another challenge pack. So if they sign up with the challenge pack, they waive that $40 fee. And you actually get 2 more Success Club points too, if they switch over to a coach with the challenge pack. So that, you know, but like with the all access, I don't have as many people that do that because they already have all the workout programs. So typically they sign up with the $40 fee and they get that fee refunded if they've already bought a challenge pack. Okay. Were you guys? Hold on. Okay, go ahead. What?
Sorry. Does it need to be in the first 30 days that they get that $40 back?
They've always refunded it for me.
Okay.
I don't. It says that somewhere, I think, but they've always done that.
Okay.
It reminds me, I got to refund somebody's $40. Okay. But yeah, Emerald. That's like, yeah, Success Club and Emerald. Those are like your 2 goals this month, and definitely the
Emerald is just 2 coaches, and then Success Club is.
That is like anybody that signs up with Shakeology on Home Direct, which is, you know, the auto ship, or a challenge pack. That's 2 Success Club points for either one. And so you want to get, it's really Success Club 6 now. You know, it used to be 5 because, well, I won't even explain that. But you want 3 people to sign up either with Shakeology on Home Direct or a challenge pack. And a challenge pack is, you know, their Shakeology and like the all access, or Shakeology and 21 day fix, or Shakeology and 3-day refresh. And so if somebody signs up as a coach with the challenge pack, then there's 2 points. You know, if they sign up as a challenger, it's 2 points. So you could hit Success Club and Emerald at the same time if you sign up 2 people as coaches. You know, just tell them that, you know, just say, I want to do it this way. Like if, just to save you, I think you'll like the Shakeology or something like that. And, you know, this will save you money in the long run. Okay. So yeah, 3 new people every month helps you hit Success Club. And it sounds like I used to think, there's no way I want to run out of people, but I've been a coach for over 3 years. I've hit Success Club. I'm like a Success Club 10 legend, which means I've hit it for more than 2 years. And so like you don't run out of people if you just do the vital behaviors, you know, that you do your power every day. And as you grow, like we'll teach you how to expand that market beyond your warm market, but it's definitely doable. So I'm here to tell you it's totally doable. Don't think it's not.
Okay, I have a question.
Go.
Okay, so you're saying if I have a person who has already signed up with a challenge pack, they can purchase another challenge pack as a coach, and I get the points and the commission?
Yes, but after they become a coach, you don't get commission anymore on what they order. But like, yes,
Right.
if they sign up as a coach with a challenge pack, you get the points and the commission. Yes.
Even though they've already purchased a challenge pack.
Uh-huh. Yep. So, you have any more questions about that? I remember that confused me a little.
It's interesting.
Something to
My
think
mind's just going crazy. I gotta get off this call to make some phone calls.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Well, that's all I've got. Bailey, Jay, do we need to stay on and talk a little bit more, or is there anything else? Bailey, do you have any more questions?
I mean, I always have a million questions, but no, I'm good. I'm good.
Your mind is
Do
real.
you need help strategizing on getting to Emerald?